crazy tax deductions that you cannot take. I wouldn't even try it. Guess what? Others have done it, and here's an example of few of these deductions. Did you hear about the individual that tried to write off his home toilet paper supply? Iris looked at the deduction and said, absolutely no way. However, on second thought, I wonder what would have happened if the individual would have classified it as a moving expense. And did you hear about the individual who tried to write off his dog as a dependent? Oh, there were certain costs associated with this dog, like the doggy daycare and the credit for childcare expenses. Iris looked at this deduction and said, absolutely no way. Looks like that guy's going to the dogs. Did you hear about the woman who wrote a $2,000 check for her gynecologist and tried to take it as a business expense? The IRS looked at the deduction and said, absolutely not. Now, it wasn't clear whether or not it was the woman or the husband that wrote out the repair and maintenance check for his wife. And did you hear about the individual who tried to write off the Super Bowl as a business expense? The IRS looked at the deduction and said, absolutely not. Hey, did you hear about the individual that hired an arsonist to burn down his house? The individual collected a $500,000 insurance policy. He went back and took the $10,000 that he paid the arsonist to burn down his house as a, quote, consulting expense. Iris looked at the deduction and said, no way. Anyways, next time you're thinking about burning down the house, don't get the IRS involved with the transaction. Did you hear about the individual that bought his wife a mink coat and then tried to write it off as an entertainment expense? He argued before the IRS that it was a great conversation piece and part of the promotion cost of his business. There was no word about what the mink thought about this idea, but nevertheless, the IRS said, no way. Now, did you hear about the individual that bought a racehorse, using the racehorse as an excuse to go to the races to watch it as a business entertainment expense? The individual took all the costs associated with it as a deduction. The IRS looked at the cost of the racehorse and all the deductions and said, no way. The IRS was not horsing around in this case. Did you hear about the individual that took dance lessons in order to improve her varicose veins? The IRS looked at the lady, they looked at the deduction, and then they said, no way. They couldn't find a place to put that in a reasonable place on a tax return and promptly disallowed it.
Learn more at GrowCo.com.